Welcome. Today, we're going to be looking at types of triangles. Let's get started. Triangles can be classified one of two ways. They can be classified based on their angles, or they could be classified based on their sides. We're going to look at classification by angles first. Here is a picture of an acute triangle. An acute triangle has 3 acute angles in it, meaning the angles are all less than 90 degrees. In a right triangle, it contains a 90-degree angle. A 90-degree angle, we know, is called a right angle, which is where this triangle gets its name. The next example is an obtuse triangle. It contains an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, which we know an angle greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees is an obtuse angle. So this obtuse triangle must contain an obtuse angle. If we are looking at classifications by sides, they are a little bit different, and there will be some names here that you haven't heard before. The first one is an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides, 3 equal angles, and angles are always going to be 60 degrees in an equilateral triangle. We learned previously that all interior angles in a triangle must add up to exactly 180 degrees, and that is why in an equilateral triangle, all angles will be exactly 60 degrees. You may notice in the diagram here that the equilateral triangle example has little dash marks on each of its sides. Those hatch marks show that those sides are of equal length. The next triangle we are going to look at is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangles may be a little difficult to say and to spell. I recommend you practice saying isosceles and learning how to spell it. An isosceles triangle has exactly 2 equal sides. You will notice there's hatch marks also on this triangle, but only on 2 sides. Each of the 2 equal sides has the same number of hatch marks. The next we're going to look at is a scalene triangle. In this triangle, it has no equal sides. The hatch marks here, you can see, are all different on each of the sides. The bottom has 1. One side has 3 and the other side has 2. That is showing you that none of those sides are equal. Okay, that was a lot of information to take in, and I hope you're ready for some practice. In this first question, it states, name this triangle based on its sides. At this time, you may choose to pause the video and try it on your own. When you're ready, you can come back and join us. Here we go. The answer is an isosceles triangle. Remember, an isosceles triangle has exactly 2 equal sides. How about this one? Can you name this triangle based on its sides? Once again, pause the video if you need to. If you're ready, you can stay right with me. This triangle is a scalene triangle. It has no equal sides. Next up, name this triangle based on its sides. If you said equilateral triangle, you are correct. Great job. All 3 sides in an equilateral triangle are equal. Next up, look closely at this one. Which of these triangles is an isosceles triangle? Remember, an isosceles triangle has exactly 2 equal sides. You may also choose to use a ruler to help you out here. Pause the video now if you need more time. Okay, if you thought that it was triangle EFG, way to go. That is the correct one. A ruler would help you confirm that it is in fact EFG that has 2 equal sides. Try this one out. Can you name these triangles based on their sides? You may choose to pause the video and write the names down. It's good to have the practice of writing the names of these triangles. Remember, please answer based on their sides, not their angles. Okay, here are the answers. For triangle A, we have an isosceles triangle. It is a triangle that has exactly 2 equal sides. In B, we have an equilateral triangle. All sides are equal in this equilateral triangle. Here's a fun fact. That equilateral triangle is also an acute triangle. Knowing that it has equal sides and equal angles, we know it's an acute triangle. In C, we can see that is a scalene triangle. There are no equal sides in a scalene triangle. For the next question, you are asked to name this triangle based on its angles. Now we're looking at the angles, not the sides. Be very careful. At this time, you may choose to pause the video and try it on your own. If you're not quite ready for that, stay right with me. This is an obtuse triangle. It has an obtuse angle in it, which is how it gets its name. Can you name this triangle based on its angles? Once again, pause the video if you need more time. You can always choose to also use a protractor to help you out. If you said an acute triangle, way to go. You have the correct answer. It is an acute triangle. All angles in this triangle are less than 90 degrees. Now, can you name this triangle based on its angles? Pause the video if you need more time to study it. Otherwise, you can stay right with me. This is a right triangle. A right triangle has one 90-degree angle in it. And I had to use my protractor to help me out with this. I encourage you to do the same, just to be sure that it is in fact a true 90-degree angle. Now, name this triangle based on its angles. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, we have an obtuse triangle here. Remember, an obtuse triangle has an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. On to the next one. Name this triangle based on its angles. If you said a right triangle, you are correct. I included my protractor measurement on this slide just to confirm this is in fact a right triangle. Now we've gone over a lot of information today on many different types of triangles. We've looked at classifying them by their sides and by their angles. Be careful to review this information. and you might want to rewatch the video to practice more and get comfortable with being able to determine the name of the angle based on its sides and angles. That's all for now. Till next time.